They say the Mafia is dead, that the days of made men, bloody streets, and secret oaths are gone. But look a little closer, and you'll see the same game still being played. Different names, different weapons, same rules. Because as long as there's greed, this family business. Every generation believes it's smarter than the last, that corruption, violence, and crime are relics of the past. But power doesn't disappear. It adapts. It wears a new suit, speaks in boardrooms, moves through digital ledgers instead of dark alleys. The Mafia didn't vanish. It evolved. In the 1950s, they controlled the docks and unions. In the 1980s, they owned nightclubs and construction. Now, they run cryptocurrency scams, data theft rings, and international logistics. They call it business, but the code, the family, never truly left. The same structure remains. The boss, the underboss, the soldiers, the loyalty, and the same timeless law: trust no one. When people talk about the Mafia, they imagine violence. But the truth is, it was never just about crime. It was about order in a world of chaos. A place where loyalty meant something, where bloodlines replaced laws, where respect was earned, not bought. And that idea never dies. Look at Wall Street. Look at politics. Look at Silicon Valley. Different faces, same hunger. Power, control, legacy. The mob was America's mirror. It showed us what happens when ambition has no limits, when family becomes a weapon, when loyalty turns into fear. Even when the FBI took down the bosses, new ones were already waiting in the shadows. Because the Mafia isn't a name, it's a system. It's the dark side of human nature, dressed in expensive suits. As long as someone wants more than they deserve, as long as someone believes they can outsmart fate, as long as greed whispers louder than conscience, the Mafia will return. It starts small: a handshake deal, a favor owed, a secret kept. One connection becomes two, and soon it's a web. Money moves in silence, loyalty binds through fear, and the cycle begins again. In every age, men have built their own empires, from Roman senators to prohibition bootleggers to modern-day CEOs. Each believed they could bend the system, play God with greed, and get away with it. But power always demands its price. In the 21st century, the Mafia no longer carries Tommy guns. They carry smartphones, encrypted networks, offshore accounts. They launder billions through real estate, NFTs, online casinos. And most of the time, no one notices. Some of the world's most respected corporations have roots tangled with organized crime. Political campaigns quietly funded by dark money with familiar surnames. And in Hollywood, the stories of the mob still sell millions. The irony? Sometimes the investors behind those films come from the same bloodlines. Maybe that's why America never stopped loving the Mafia. Because in their reflection, we see our own obsessions: power, loyalty, legacy. We admire them, even as we condemn them. They lived by rules we secretly understand. Don't snitch, protect the family, show respect, and never, ever forget a debt. Those aren't just Mafia values, they're human values, taken to their darkest edge. The streets have changed, but the rhythm hasn't. New York, Chicago, Miami, The old strongholds now hum with quiet echoes. The sons of the old bosses run hedge funds. The granddaughters sit on charity boards. Yet behind the scenes, the same money still circulates. It moves through shell companies, crypto wallets, political donations. And they don't call it protection money anymore. They call it consulting fees. They don't call it racketeering. They call it networking. And the code of silence? Now it's written into NDAs. The Mafia isn't just a crime story, it's a human story. It's what happens when the desire to belong meets the hunger to control. We all want power over something, even if it's just our own fate. And the mob understood that better than anyone. Every Don believed he was building a dynasty. Every soldier believed he was protecting something sacred. But empires built on fear always crumble. They rot from the inside, like a family that's forgotten what love is supposed to mean. Ask yourself, did the FBI truly win? Or did the Mafia simply move where the law can't reach? Into algorithms? Into corporate boards? Into the invisible architecture of global trade. The names changed, but the behavior stayed. The hunger for control, for territory, for legacy. It's in the DNA of civilization itself. In every society, there will always be the few who build empires on fear, and the many who serve them out of loyalty, or desperation, or greed. It's not just the Mafia that keeps coming back. It's us. Because as long as we envy power, as long as we worship money, as long as we mistake fear for respect, we keep writing the same story. Only the names change. In the end, the Mafia was never about crime. It was about immortality, about carving your name into time through fear, through loyalty, through family. And maybe that's why it will always return. Because no matter how modern we become, we're still ruled by the same ancient forces: pride, greed, blood. The Mafia never dies. It just changes address. End of episode. The Fall of the Mafia series. Why the Mafia Will Always Return. Stay curious, because history doesn't repeat itself. It simply changes clothes.